dear, that's my computer.
Sound too hot.
Welcome to our podcast. New year, new us. Same old story.
Well, it didn't take me 6 months to get the second one.
We are better. We recorded it probably a month ago.
Yeah.
We're back.
Yeah.
I was looking at the top of my list here. It says, Happy New Year. It's nearly the end of January.
I know. God, the 100th of January.
Can we still say thank you and Happy New Year to all our listeners. Thank you to everybody who reacted to our last podcast, which is out just before Christmas. Hope you all had a lovely time. Hope you followed the recipes very carefully and closely, and hopefully you didn't get too much of a cold or a flu or a sickness.
I don't think anybody didn't get a cold or a flu or a sickness. Definitely not.
It was all lovely, but even in our house, like we had one person who was sitting at the end of the table at Christmas Day.
You're so mean, David.
Just miserable. Yeah. Just trying to stay away from us, and we were going, no, don't worry, we're all in this together.
Is it ever going to end?
Look, but people are beginning to feel a bit better. We're getting the grand stretch in the evenings.
We are. I think we got to 5 o'clock yesterday.
We did. And we are thinking about new year, new lives, new food, but nice wintry.
We're not thinking about
food.
New lives now. Who's having a new life?
Oh, that's me.
You having a new life in your house?
That's me, midlife crisis.
Yeah, well, you're middle-aged, I'm not.
You're close.
I'm still in my 30s for another 7 weeks.
I am right in the... And I know we've talked before about my midlife crisis, and I thought it was bad then. Oh, it's shocking bad now. Yeah. When I could run, I was better.
You're a pain in the hole, that's a chair.
Thank you.
Come in here now and all I have to listen to is him complaining.
Well, the first thing you come in when you said, Mother of God, it's freezing.
It's so cold outside.
So let's talk about food.
Yes.
And let's talk about nice things when it's cold outside.
Yeah, well, I mean, it is so cold and we all indulged over Christmas and spent all our money.
Are you calling me fat?
No, well, I have a bit of a fat head going on now.
Oh yeah,
I'm googling chin exercises to get rid of a double chin. I think it's too late, Sarah.
Dear listener, she has nothing to worry about. The other side, I'm like that fella in the new movie, The Whale.
Okay, so nice, cozy, warm things to make for winter. So we're all broke and it's all January blues and we want to save money or use the money that we have to stretch, I suppose, with our shopping. So I want to talk to you about 2 things. First is your kind of cost-effective shop and how to do it.
Yes.
I get this so much on my Instagram page. I'm spending a fortune and I know we've talked about it, but there might be new listeners. I'm dumping all the food. I get to Wednesday, I forget what I meant to be cooking, and I end up going for the takeaway or the pizzas or whatever. So what I do is, I'll sit down on a Sunday evening. I do my shopping on Monday.
Right.
I know that doesn't work for everybody, but Monday is my day off because I work 6 days a week, and sometimes on Monday also in doing my shop video on it. So Monday's my day to get myself organised, whatever day you choose. The day before, sit down and go, right, what am I going to make for the week? Be realistic. There is absolutely no point making something that's going to take effort or a little bit more time if you've got kids' activities on. Mm-hmm. So you're like, okay, Wednesday's bananas.
Yep.
So that needs to be something like a slow cook or something easy. So write that down and go, okay, I've a bit of time on Tuesday, so I might batch cook. I might make a big bolognese or a shepherd's pie and meatballs and freeze the meatballs for Thursday because that's mental, or make some soup or brown bread. So make your list of dinners and then check what you've got. And go, right, this is what I need on my shopping list. And then stick that list of food, the dinners, the 7 dinners, on your fridge.
Physically
Stick it up.
Which fridge will I stick it up on?
Shut up. Still have 3 fridges. Any fridge you want. I usually stick it on the biggest one in the room. That still needs to be put into the fridge area that has been made for it. But anyways, that's another day's work. So stick it up physically. So come Wednesday and you've completely forgotten.
I'm good at sticking it up.
We're doing lasagna tonight and I have the ingredients in the fridge for that. So
Okay.
you're not going to go wasted. Now this, lads, I'm sorry, but you have to make the effort.
Whenever she starts the sentence with, I'm sorry, there's a scud coming straight for you.
It's not just going to do itself. So if you only do 1 planned meal a week and you eat pizzas for the other 6 days, that's a step in the right direction.
Okay.
You're not going to do it overnight. Make small changes.
It's like anything that you take up in life. It's like doing exercise.
Yeah, of course.
Some days you'll completely fall off the horse.
Yeah.
You just got to pick yourself up and say, okay, that was a mistake. Let's just move on.
Yeah, so just don't go in gung-ho, right, and we're going to do this. I'm going to
Never touching that again.
Homemade dinners every night this week.
Hear this. No more crisps in this house.
I know.
Suddenly you hear a bag of crisps and somebody goes, let me just have a crisp.
And they're gone. So make your list, stick to it, be realistic. And a big tip that a lot of people have tried on my page and sent me messages, and I'm like, fair play to you.
I thought you were going to say something else. And I was going to say,
I'm like, fair play to you. I'm like, get these messages. I'm a mother of 5 young children and I get up half an hour early to prep the dinner. It's a game changer.
Totally.
I'm like, well, do you know what? Fair play to you. Because enough people are turning around and going, well, it's easy for you now to make the dinner.
Yeah.
You've all the time in the world to be in your kitchen cooking. We all have the same 24 hours.
Yeah.
You know, I don't spend all day in the kitchen cooking. I do have other work to do. So I always take my hat off to people who make the effort, and it is totally doable. So 10 minutes the night before. So if you're, say, going to have a slow cook the next day, peel the spuds, soak them in water, peel the veg, chop up the chicken. So everything is there. It's just a matter of frying it off, throw it into the slow cooker.
Okay.
Or if you're doing a stir fry, chop up the chicken. Even just, yourself, chopping up the chicken in strips. And then you're coming home to a clean kitchen with all your stuff. Throw it in the pans. You're like, that was 10, 20 minutes. So that's a big one. 10 minutes night before or in the morning.
Essentials from when you're going out to do your shopping list, there has to be things that appear on it every single week.
Yes, I've actually done that this week. It's so funny. I did a poll. Who wants to see what I bought in the shops? And like 5,000 people, I think 4,000 or 5,000 people voted. 99% yes. And it's so funny because I don't think people realise when you vote on a poll on Instagram, I can see who voted yes or no. So I'm like, right.
Did you focus on the 1%
no, of course.
no's?
Yeah, I'm like, who are the 46 people out of, I think, 4,700 that voted no?
Yeah, it's amazing.
And that's okay. I'm like, Sarah, it's okay. They don't want to see your shop. I get that.
Yeah.
But you immediately go, who said no? She know. And you go into their profile. But yeah, just so you know, we can see who votes yes and no.
It's like when I get nasty messages on the radio, they think that they're hiding, but their number and their picture is often there.
Funny. It's like, oh God. And then you go into their profile and it's normally like, be kind or one of these things.
So these 46 people, are we calling to them after we finish this today?
No, they're grand. They've already been blocked, so that's fine. I'm only messing. I'm all right for the free dinner videos, but you don't want to see my food shop.
But can I also just say, by the way, that the week that she decided to do her food shop and show you her food shop was the week when she's probably been at her healthiest. Had a bit of a head cold, was clearing up, so there was no bad stuff going into the shop.
Buy bad stuff, and I'm not saying that because I'm here ready to die. I'm not saying that to be a pain in the arse, but I really don't, because number one, if I do, I'll eat it all very quickly.
I had a full packet of fruit pastilles in the car yesterday evening between town and the house.
And like
I said, I need sugar.
Yeah. But I don't really, because I'm always baking stuff for my work, so there's always cakes in the fridge. I don't eat them because you get sick bloody baking and looking at them. Like, I'll buy the odd time a 6-pack of crisps, or I'll have chocolate there from baking and I'll eat that, or I'll make brownies. But I don't really buy, the only thing I buy to freeze is peas and sweet corn.
Yeah, they're good.
I don't really buy pizzas, or the odd pizza I'll buy. But no, I don't really. But anyways, it's on my page.
Our essential
stuff. And the stuff that I buy, I can kind of make anything with.
Yeah. Let's go through it. Are you buying a bag of spuds?
Oh God, yeah, spuds. I kind of go, when I'm doing my list for my week, I'm like, meat first. So I'll go and get my meat and then I'll work around that. So you've got your spuds, your carrots, normal stuff. Celery's great, and leeks are great.
Okay.
Because they're great in soups.
Yes.
So if you're like, oh God, there's a leek and there's celery and a carrot and one potato there, make a soup.
Yeah, they're also good in ragu, in your ragu sauce.
Yeah.
With the base
or if you've
carrots.
loaded tomatoes, celery, leek, blitz the lot once you've pan fried it. But normal stuff, spuds. Then you've got your veg or your herbs for flavour. So I'll come home, I'll chop them up, throw them in the Ziploc bags and freeze them. So they'll go straight into sauces and soups. I have my wine frozen so I don't drink it. That goes in to make lovely flavour in soups. Simply, that's the only reason I do that. It's because I would drink it.
Wine lollipops.
Yeah. Sushies. And that's it. Meat, veg, cupboard essentials, stuff like spices, and then you've got your herbs. Yeah, pretty basic stuff, but when you put it all together, you can make lots of different things.
But when you get good at this, when you spend a bit of time at it, when it starts it becoming a plan, and we've talked about this before, you actually start looking at the shopping supermarket in your mind before you get in there.
Yeah.
So you know exactly what points you're going to and what points you need to avoid.
Oh, it's a mission. It's not like strolling around
No,
browsing.
it's a bush tucker trial, we
Yeah.
call it. It's like a bush tucker trial.
Completely.
Get in, get
Get
it all
out.
done, get out. And what happens, we find, when you've done this kind of a plan and you're working to this kind of plan, we've been doing it for a couple of years now, is there's absolutely no wastage.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
our bin is going out with no food being thrown out.
Yeah.
Everything's been used,
Yeah.
except for 2 lemons. They went green, or
Yeah.
bluey green.
Yes.
But apart from that,
Yeah.
everything else is being used.
That's great. I had a lady message me this week. She had got my book and she said she did her shop based on this plan that I'm talking about. And she said €70.
Yeah.
Like, that's a lot of money to save. Just by kind of sitting down and making a plan and putting that effort in. So
Talking
that's
about
what,
your book, I went into my local butcher this morning and there was your big head gawking out at me from behind the counter.
Of course I was. I'm always watching you, David.
Yeah, but I wasn't looking at you.
Be careful. You don't know where I'm watching
I
you.
wasn't looking at your pretty face. I was looking at the big cake you're holding.
Cake. I was like, what will I put on the front of the book now that'll make people want to buy it? A cake. A big cake.
You do it's good sponge cake.
Yeah, well, it was a pavlova, actually.
Was it a pavlova sponge? It got cream and strawberries on it.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what I was looking at.
Well, there you go.
There you see.
So that's what you can do. Make the plan, do your list, stick it on the fridge, any fridge you choose to stick it on, and stick to it. And like on a Thursday where you're tempted, oh, it's been a tough week, make a fake away. Again, these are all in my book. I have a section in my new book, Fake Away at Home. Gorgeous, yummy things. So again, prep that ahead, come home, have your lovely fake away.
Right.
And then if you have leftover stuff, quiches, if you have like 3 tomatoes, bit of cheese, 2 scallions, 2 rashers, quiche, omelettes.
Yeah.
They're great to use things
Yeah.
up. Soups.
Yeah. I was looking at last week's dinners in our house, right? So this is this is what we went for last week. So Sunday, I didn't want the big chicken dinner on the Sunday. I just don't want the effort of it now.
Right.
So we had risotto.
Okay. Let's do a risotto. I keep meaning to do a risotto.
Yeah, risotto's good. Risotto, you have to make sure risotto's right.
You have to watch it like a hawk.
Yeah. And the other thing about risotto is, because I'm a little pig, I would eat way more risotto.
Yeah.
And then you're full as can be.
Just have a mental image of your face. I think about it. Eating risotto.
So risotto fills you. So you just need to be careful that you don't
Yeah.
wolf the whole
Eat
thing down.
slowly and smaller dishes.
Risotto Sunday. Monday, we had the chicken dinner.
Yeah.
Right, which was actually this time, instead of buying a full chicken, we bought chicken on the bone,
Yeah.
which I thought actually tasted.
Chicken breast on the bone.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
with skin on, still on the bone, I thought it actually tasted nicer. I thought it was more flavourful.
Yeah.
We used every bit of it. That was Monday. Tuesday, I see I've forgotten a day.
No, you haven't.
No, Tuesday, we did omelettes and quiche.
Right.
Wednesday was a curry,
Yeah.
Chicken
cabbage
curry. which was prepared the night before and marinated in the
Yeah.
fridge. Thursday was the pasta dinner that we do, which is pasta. It's also, you put in tomatoes, you put in green beans, you put in rashers, sometimes sausages, plenty of tomato passata. It's just a lovely, easy, quick dinner. And last night, Friday night, because we're recording this on a Saturday, was homemade pizza.
Lovely.
So nothing went to waste.
Yeah. No, if you have the plan, and like at this stage, I tend to not really need to do a plan because I'll throw stuff together. Mm-hmm.
But is there? So what is your?
Meat is the basis of everything.
But what? So
If I have meat, everything works around the meat.
but what is your
Simple as
go-to dinner?
I couldn't pick one. I
Right.
really couldn't. It depends on my mood. It depends on how much time I have. Like today now, I'm going to make the Mediterranean chicken from book 2, Food
Okay.
for Life. I think it might be my favourite dinner in the book. It's just so easy to make and it's so yum.
So let's go through it.
Okay, so you pan fry your chicken. You've got I think you've got garlic powder and paprika. Just shake it on the chicken.
Shaky.
Pan fry that, take it out, squeeze a lemon to deglaze the pan, throw in some little tomatoes.
Baby cherry
Always
tomatoes.
get the little baby tomatoes. And the little
Lovely.
peppers are really handy too.
They're burst
It's
of
really
flavour.
good. So put them in, splash of wine, bit of garlic, some chili seeds, put your chicken back in, and then put a load of cream in. Simmer it away, and then put your spinach in that I freeze in at the end, and then loads of basil and parsley and loads of parmesan.
Right.
Oh, it's so good.
Does that thicken it up then? Does
Yeah, and then I'll throw that in before I put the spinach in at that stage, because you do that at the very end. So always put your spinach and your fresh herbs in at the very end, or you're going to lose the flavour. I'll go home now and I'll make that in 15 minutes, and
Okay.
I'll throw it in the slow cooker
What are you serving with
for the
it?
day. I'm going to make wedges. And I have a tip for you.
Good, because I
made
made
it
wedges
last
this
week
evening.
and they were really good. I didn't parboil them. Normally I'll parboil the spuds and then put them in the oven, but I didn't have time. So I cut up my wedges, rinse them. That's really important to get all the starch out, and dry them, and then put them on the baking tray with some sunflower oil
Okay.
and a little knob of butter.
Right.
And mix it all up and throw it in a really hot oven. And the way butter kind of bubbles. Oh, it gives them this gorgeous
Caramelizes
crispiness.
it.
It's really crispy. So yeah, I might do them. But you can have it with pasta or mash, rice, whatever.
Yeah, I'm doing the wedges this evening actually. Well, I'm
You
not.
do good wedges.
So my one are records.
Yeah.
Again, doing exactly what you do. I leave the skin on, wash, but dry really, really well. Take all the starch off.
Yeah.
Into a bag with olive oil. In your case, it could be sunflower oil. Loads and loads of pepper. Loads of
Yeah.
pepper. Garlic. And rosemary.
Yes, rosemary.
Loads
is
of
really good
rosemary.
with wedges.
Shake it all up.
Yeah.
Let it sit for a little while, and then bake it. And bake it at 180 for, it probably takes 40 minutes for it to crisp on the outside.
Yeah, it does. And turn them halfway.
And I guarantee you, there won't be a wedge left.
Yeah.
They're just lovely. And you can eat them hot, cold, or indifferent. So I've been instructed that I have to do those.
You're on wedgie duty tonight.
I'm getting a wedgie tonight is right. Okay, so other things we want to talk about. Do you know, all the time we're talking about this food, and I was talking about winter food.
You're getting hungry.
You know, it'd be lovely now to have a cup of tea
Yeah.
with a slice of good ginger cake.
Do you know what I made during the
Nice
lockdown
and
then?
warming.
So nice.
Go on.
Ginger cake. No, I'm not really gone on ginger.
Ginger, it's just
Carrot
warming for your
cake.
belly. Carrot cake.
I like a carrot cake. I'm the only one in the house that likes it though, so it goes to waste. I had an experiment. I got these little tartlet
Mm-hmm.
tins. Little small ones. So I had time.
I'm glad you're showing me
It was
on the
actually one of the
podcast.
days.
She's
I
showing
know
me
I
how
look like
small.
I'm holding something.
Testicles.
A testicle in my hand. It actually looks just like I'm
Just
holding
the one,
a
though.
giant testicle in my
And
hand.
then I
Just
put the other one for the other testicle. There they go, the two. We were looking at a
Why
program.
can't we keep it clean?
We were looking at
How did it go from tartlet cases to testicles?
Well, I was looking at a program the last day about farming, right? And there was this male sheep, and he was being sold, and he sold for like £50,000.
Jesus.
And Joe was with me in the room, and Joe says, "Jesus," and I went, "Look at the balls on him," and he says, "Dad, I think they're called testicles."
Oh, really? Be politically correct.
I was like,
It's gone.
50 grand worth of testicles.
Jesus, they're mind them balls. Anyways, it was actually the day I took to the couch because I had a head cold. I went making these. But I made apple tartlets. So I made the pastry and I did the apple with a little bit of, not cloves, cinnamon.
Yes.
I very nearly put a tablespoon of ground clove in on top. I was that close and I went, because I
wouldn't
couldn't
be
smell.
good. Yeah.
I was like, oh my God.
That would have ruined them.
Ruined them. So I put a little bit of cinnamon in, flour, well, thicken up the juice with the apples that are chopped up into cubes. So pop the apples in on top
Okay.
and make custard. Oh my God, they were so good. I need to open a pastry shop and just sell these. They're up tomorrow, Sunday. But I poured the pastry on top.
So yesterday, because this podcast probably won't be out until
Yeah.
Monday, so they're up since yesterday.
Yes, Sunday, the 22nd January. Put the custard on top of the lovely cinnamon apples, and
Right.
then I had made a crumble up, an almond crumble.
Right.
So you have your flour, your sugar, and your butter and almonds, and you mix it all up with your fingers, and you put it on top and bake it. Oh, they're so gorgeous.
Oh my God.
So good.
That sounds
Very
good.
proud of myself.
Hot or cold?
Oh, hot with ice cream and whipped cream.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Then they're wondering what. Maybe
So
double chin.
that would be lovely with cup
Maybe
of tea.
double chin would absolutely.
I know, my fat head, like fat head or an apple tart. Give me the apple tart.
Again, when it comes to.
I just go around like this.
You don't have a double chin.
I have a fat head when I smile.
You don't. I mean, our dear listener, they know what you look like. They've seen your picture.
Do you know what I got? Look at, wait till I show you this. Oh my God, I definitely felt like I had a fat head after I saw this
Jesus.
picture. This was from, and you know the way you think you're still a young one, like.
Yeah.
That was my graduation day. Look how skinny my head is. Pre-children.
I honestly now, not blowing smoke up your arse, don't see an awful lot of difference.
Well, that's
I
great,
think
what
I think
do.
actually, not to just give it to you, I think we're both aging fairly well.
Okay, all right, let's stop now. We're not going to be able to get our heads on our
Considering.
We won't get our fat heads out the door.
And then we'll fall down the fucking stairs. Are you going like, I think we're aging well, yet I can't move my knees.
Difficult. He fell down the stairs with his big fat head.
I told him to take the lift. Anyway,
Anyways.
we're aging beautifully, gracefully.
Moving on, I also have a brilliant collab with Super Value up on my page this week. It's very cool.
Collaboration.
Collaboration.
Young people in your collabs.
Collab. I know I hate the terms that like influencers use. It's like I'm just jumping on, I'm popping on, no, jumping on, and my DMs have blown up.
Yes.
It drives me mental. It's like.
Yeah. Can we not just talk normally?
Can we just talk normal?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm too old. Anyways, I'm too old for this game. Definitely, there should be a senior Instagram because it's like
I think senior Instagram is called Facebook.
no, something in between the two. Now that's I think where I'd sit better. I don't know. Anyways, I just don't think people watch me. I think it's so funny. Then, like, come on, I'm like listening to people going, oh, my DMs have blown up because I did such a thing. Since I showed that, and it's like.
What's a DM? Direct message?
Somebody just please like give me a kick in the hole if I ever come on and say something like
well,
that.
in fairness, I would be the first person. You would be getting my size 8, which is the same size as your own foot.
Anyways, it's just I don't know. 5-in-1 meal is what I have this week.
Okay. Oh, right.
I'm doing a job at Super Value, and because everybody's like, help with the shopping costs of food, make it stretch. So I have a really cool video on how to do very simple, keeping it simple, but it's working. A bolognese, but lots of flavour in there. It works out at 120 per portion. So I got all the ingredients for this lovely bolognese in the local Super Value. This is not a paid sponsored post, by the way.
Other supermarkets are available.
Other supermarkets are available, yeah, but that's where I go. It was $14.40 for what I needed exactly to make a bolognese.
How no? What are you?
Meat,
Come back
do you
there
know
now.
why now?
Yeah,
because
go
I
on.
didn't go in and buy a jar of dolmio that probably costs.
Yeah, that's
Google
probably
out there and
€7 or
see.
€8.
Probably.
Okay, I'll
Just
Google it,
Google and see how much a jar of dolmio is.
Right.
For the crack.
You talk about everything
So
else,
what
because you know
I-
me and my slow hands.
The non-dolmio way to make it is round steak mince.
It can be added other pasta sauces, by the way. We're not just at all me.
Oh yeah, well, any of them jar sauces.
Okay.
So
you're looking at about €4.33 for the small one.
small one's a waste of time. That's only for couples.
The lasagna for the bechamel €5.19.
Really?
Yeah. Now that's to buy them online.
So that's a tenner for the white sauce and the ragu sauce.
There you go.
Okay, well I got my meat, carrots, celery, onion, garlic, basil, tin of chopped tomatoes, tin of tomato puree, dried oregano, and beef oxo cube. So that's what went in, salt and pepper obviously. And then the white sauce I made with 2 tablespoons of any flour, knob of butter, about 40 grams, melt them together, and then pour in about 3/4 of a pint of milk and grate in some white cheddar.
Okay.
That's all, and then you have your cheddar for the top of the bolognese. So that all came to
Is this
$14.40.
bolognese or lasagna?
Oh, sorry, lasagna or bolognese. Sorry, I see. This is the thing. I made 5 different things out of it.
Okay, so we're starting with the bolognese. But
Bolognese,
obviously,
anyways.
though, spoiler alert, she made lasagna as well.
Maybe this cold isn't cleared up at all. Fucking hell, just as well I'm blonde, as I've said several times. Let's get some more highlights. So, anyways, it came to $14.40. So I got 12 portions out of it. Now again, these are correct portions.
Right.
These are not, because I get this a bit. It's like you know the trays. I think you
Yeah.
have the same one, the lasagna one, the glass one. I think you got them free
Yeah,
years ago
years
with the
ago,
red
yeah.
thing on them lid. Like that's a 4-portion lasagna.
Yes.
But like some people would look at that on my page and go, "Oh, that's only 2 portions."
Yeah.
But it's not actually. You need to check your portion size. So I got 12 correct portion sizes out of that. So that's 120 per portion. So you've got this big pot of bolognese. So this is a great one to batch cook. Make a big pot of it, double up, get 2 pounds of mince instead of 1 pound. Bulk it up with the veg. That's how you make it stretch. And from that, I'm going to show people how to make, obviously, spaghetti bolognese. Just add spaghetti and parmesan. Taco fries. So you've got that lovely burger sauce, and then you have the melted cheddar on top, and sprinkle of chilies. A sub. So a crispy, crunchy sub. Take the filling out. That was another thing. I always take the filling out.
Oh, so do
it was
I, yeah.
50-50 poll on my page this week, and some people were like, "Is this a thing?"
If you just take it out, right,
Yeah.
and squeeze it in your
Oh
hand.
yeah, I know. That's what I did. It's like dough.
Yeah,
so
and then you
very
say
difficult to
that's what you're
digest.
asking your belly to do.
So the best of both worlds is to take the inside out, and you get more room
And you
for
get more
fillings.
stuff in, yeah.
So a lovely sub for like lunchtime sub: bolognese, melted mozzarella, loads of lettuce, red onions, mayonnaise, and then the other one was taco fries lasagna.
To me now, the red onions just
Sub.
overpower everything there now. So it'd be red onions and I'll be left out.
Well, you can have a spring onion, or you can leave them out altogether.
And leave them out. Thanks very much.
So yeah, there was a fifth one. What was the fifth one? Oh yeah, baked potato.
Oh, yeah,
Great
nice.
one.
Yeah.
Like I did it like you do it. I didn't wrap it in the tin foil. I did
No.
the oil and the salt.
Cross.
And had that. So mince, cheese, spring onion, little few peppers I had left, and I served that with a side salad.
Oh yeah.
So like that's 5 different things you can make
That's
from
a
that
full
one big
week.
pot.
For how much?
120 per portion. And like if you make that on a Monday, freeze half of it,
Yeah.
and make a lasagna have it on the Monday and then have a lasagna on the Thursday, because that's going to keep in the fridge. That's another thing that people get really confused about, is how long can keep things. This going to poison me. That will keep for like 3 to 4 days in the fridge.
Okay.
Perfect. Or freeze it.
Yeah, freeze it. Yeah, absolutely freeze it. Often with a lasagna, when it's fresh, it just falls apart. It's no
Oh my
good.
God, I did this on my page this week too, and everybody went mad for it. How to make the perfect square. You know when you make a
Yeah.
lasagna and you scoop it out and it just goes...
Because it's too fresh.
It's too fresh. Leave it for half an hour.
Yeah, it needs to sit.
Preferably an hour.
Yeah.
And then you get the perfect slice.
Perfect slice, yeah.
It's like one of those, it's like having a new sponge. When you get a new sponge, you're so happy. And when you do that lasagna thing, it's like...
simple things in life.
It's the simple things.
It's the new sponge. It's all we want. It's all we want.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's 5 meals. Was that on the page?
That is up this week.
Right.
Still signing off content.
What does that mean? Signing off content?
Signing off, so you have to video it all. So what I do is, in my pyjamas looking fierce rough, I'll record everything that I don't have to be in.
Okay.
So generally it's shot from above.
Right.
So Dermot had maybe with this stand that I just pop my phone on top, and it's got lights fitted. So that's where you just see the pot coming in and then the pot coming out.
Oh, okay.
And the onions there, and oh look, they're magically done, because it has to be done real quick. So I'll record that like a skank. Haven't brushed my teeth. Kitchen is a tip. I've got 3 hours to get as much of this done as I can. And then I'll have to do the introduction and the exit. So that's the next day's work, where I have to like look presentable and do my face and my makeup and dress up and put the spotlight in front of me and go, today I'm going to show you how to make a bolognese, and it's so delicious. Let's get started. And then we cut to the skank Sarah video.
Skank hands. The hands look good, but the rest of me is skank.
Yeah. It's like pajamas.
It's the beauty of radio.
Hair and a greasy bun.
It's the beauty of radio. The radio,
it
they
is.
can look like a
It
skank
is
all the
actually
time.
great.
Do you know, what I was going to ask you is, when you're doing those videos, I thought what you meant that if you put a product out, do you have to say about that product, the price of the product, where you got the product, or do you not have
It
to do that?
depends on the brief.
Okay.
Like generally you're dealing with
of
marketing
course.
companies or
Sorry.
PR agencies, so they give you like a really long brief, and this is what we want to portray to the consumer, whatever. So then you do your nice intro, your overhead, and then the exit. So I hope you enjoyed that. Follow me for more.
Bye.
Bye. And then you have to send that on to the PR company.
Yes.
And they send it on to the client, and they might come back and say, is there any way that she can
This is my
just
life.
change?
yeah.
And you're like, oh shit, I need
This
to
is
do
my
that. What was I
life.
wearing yesterday? Okay, what colour eyeshadow did I have on? Because you may have to come in and re-record stuff.
It's continuity. This is my life. I'm over
Yeah, but
25.
you don't have to spend an hour putting makeup on and making your hair look exactly the same as it did in the video yesterday for a 5-second clip.
Yeah. And people will find a continuity mistake. They love it. I watch movies or TV programs, and you watch, particularly one if they're having a drink, right? Watch them. Glass is full. Glass is half full. Glass is full again. What? That's continuity. And it's when you're switching all your cameras around. So people love continuity mistakes. So if you have different eyeshadow on, they'll notice.
So that's how it works.
That's 5 meals in one, and that would be available this week at some stage. So did we talk about cost-effective shopping? I suppose
We did, yeah. Make your list, sit down, just take 10 minutes.
Right. What about ingredients that can be used for lots of different things? So we've mentioned that with your ragu. Sure, that can be used for 5 different meals.
Celery, leeks, tomatoes, garlic, onions, spuds, fresh herbs in the freezer, cupboard essentials like spices and stuff, loads of pastas, can make anything.
Yeah.
But I base everything around the meat.
Okay. Again, and the last time we discussed this, you were saying, "Oh no, I'm making an effort now to introduce more fish."
Yeah. You see, the guy I get my fish off, he comes to Castlebar, I think it's on a Wednesday from 2 to 5. But like, I generally don't know what day it is.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh shit,
I missed him.
Missed Alan. What day is today?
Fish
Oh,
fingers
damn it.
again. Fish fingers again.
No, so I just keep missing the fish guy.
Yeah.
So I need to do that. But to be honest, I just love my red meat. If I had to survive on anything, I just think mince is just the best thing in the world because you can make so many things from it. It's so yum in things. It's like a mince dinner is so hearty.
Yep.
I'm a big mince lover. So I like my chicken too, but
She loves her meat.
I do like my mince. But yeah, I need to work the fish. I have started actually. It was a follower who sent it to me when I was saying I was sick. She said, I'll probably pronounce it wrong. Kefir.
All right.
So it's a cultured fermented milk. So I got up this morning. I got it in Super Value. It was €2 for a little bottle, kind of small now, like probably
She showed me again
500.
here.
What's that? Like a Lucozade bottle?
It's like
Like a bottle of Coke or Lucozade, that kind of a size.
Right.
It was €2.
Okay.
It's a cultured fermented milk and it contains like millions of probiotics.
And
So
what is it? Cow's milk?
it tastes, yes, it's cow's milk. So ultimately it's like, I think, don't quote me, I think it's like Actimels and these good bacteria for your gut. So your gut is where everything's going on.
Yeah.
So if your gut is pissed off, you're going to be like
Yeah.
getting sick or not feeling great.
And if you're taking, we'd say, if you've got a cold or a flu or whatever, that you're taking whatever to try and make that better,
It's going to
your stomach always suffers a bit. So you need to put in, if you're on antibiotics, you need to be putting in a probiotic in there.
Yeah, apparently she said I have not been sick since I started taking it
Well,
a
I
year
did notice
ago.
it low. I noticed it low about you. I said, there's it low about her
Well,
today,
no,
lads.
I think it takes a few days to kick in now. As I was up in the kitchen at 8 o'clock going, this is like buttermilk. Holding my nose, it's like thick buttermilk.
Okay.
It's like Actimel is a glorified version because they've obviously put like some
Sweetened it up.
sugars and stuff in it. So I'm really going to try and see, does this help?
You don't have to drink the full thing, do you?
No. I only had like a little small glass.
And is this before anything else in the morning?
I'm assuming that putting it into an empty stomach is probably the best way for it to work.
So our lemon and water is gone now. Is that that fad that you did there for a few years? That's
Well,
gone
I
now.
have lemon and water if I feel I need it, but I really like. I have a very good digestive system.
Oh yeah, she could eat a bicycle.
You know
lads.
yourself.
She could eat a bicycle, and the bicycle she just break it down.
You come straight out the window.
It like shit through a ghost.
I can't believe we're talking about this, but I actually do. My husband laughs at me. He's like, Jesus, you're like clockwork.
Well, but that's important. I think
but it's great. Thank God I
it
don't
shows
have any issues.
Your body's working healthily.
So I don't, like, if I feel I'm sluggish and I'm bloated, I'm like, okay, you need to go back on the lemon.
When I lived in college, there was one lad with us, and I think he used to go once a week, and it was the size of a small pony.
Like, I know they laughed at that Gillian McKeith one. Was that her name? Where she was the poo inspector. But, like, there's a lot to be said for your health based on that.
Well, it's just, if you're eating the right stuff and you're putting the right balance in, then everything should be in balance. And that shows that your system is working fine.
I'm sounding like a complete pain in the hole now.
You are,
I
you really
do
are.
go and have, like, we had load of pints of Heineken there 2 weeks ago.
I know.
And the next day, I was like, get me a Goodfellas pizza.
You
and a
went
packet of Coca-Colas.
swimming.
Yeah, I went swimming
The next
and
day?
I got cold and I haven't gotten better.
Well, that's why you got the cold.
But I had a wetsuit on. It was so cold.
Yeah.
It was like my bones were breaking because my wetsuit went to my knees and my elbows. It was only a half one. And
It's a summer wetsuit.
a summer wetsuit. So off I ran in, and then I read afterwards, you're not meant to run in, you're meant to go in gradually. Ran in roaring and screaming, and
Did you go fully down?
so sore on the exposed skin. Yeah, I went fully down. Like the soles of my feet, I felt like they had been grated with a cheese grater.
Oh.
Like I wouldn't be recommending it at all, and I won't be doing it again unless I have a full wetsuit. Even the hat, can't you get a hat?
Yeah, you
But you
can
look
get a
like
hat,
a Teletubby and just your little face.
I have the
out.
socks.
Oh, socks, gloves, the lot. I'd want to be going in.
Yeah. I have
Because
the,
where
I
the
have
wetsuit
socks.
was, it was totally fine. I didn't feel cold at all.
Yeah.
But it was like someone had battered my legs.
Yes.
So sore.
How can that be good for you? You're coming back in the car then shaking. But apparently.
No, do you know what we did? We got into the little steamy room thing.
Oh, where?
Or is it a sauna? The thing
Where's
that
that?
you put water on the rocks and it gets really hot.
Yeah.
In Old Head.
Oh, is there one there?
Yeah, they've got a coffee thing and everything. A horse box, it's a coffee shop, and then they have a steam, and there was a load of French fellas in, so they finished and they said, oh, it's free now. Go in. So myself and Grace sat in there.
You're just breathing in their sweat.
Oh, shut up, David! Shut up! Oh my god! I didn't think about that.
Breathing in their bits.
No, because I was like, don't walk on the floor, Grace. Put the towels down. Don't sit on the wooden things where their arses have been, and then you get verrucas on your feet.
Himself didn't go in.
I never thought about that.
Himself didn't go in. Yeah, but you're all right. That didn't kill you. You're here 2 weeks
Maybe
later.
that's why I got sick.
No, I don't think you would have got a
French sweat germs. My body's like, get our kefir.
Backside trough sweat.
No, I'm sorry.
But the night before that, we
Pies
did.
are way better crack.
We did have.
Swimming.
I want to come back to this. We did have the night before. That's 2 weeks ago. Look at how old we've got. That we're talking about a night out 2 weeks ago, and we only had a few drinks. Now we had that giddy look in our eye.
Pure giddy. Given half the chance now, we'd be gone.
We'd still be there,
Yeah.
but we were made go home. But that was on the back of that. That was about a very successful night you had where you did a thing for. She was doing a thing for the rugby club.
Yes.
And
we were fundraising.
It was Little Christmas, wasn't it?
It was Women's Little Christmas. So we had the fundraiser for the youth girls are going to Belgium in Easter to play other youth girls. And as you know, rugby is very much a male sport. So this is like the first youth girls team in Castlebar. We had a senior team. So that's brilliant that all these kids are getting involved. And like, they're tough as nails. They were out there. We were at a match there last night in a pissing rain. And they're as tough as nails. Yeah. And they all worked together as a team, and then they came in and they met with the other team and they sat down and they had their, you bring your sandwiches and stuff. And it's just a really nice, like, not very, like, competitive with each other as a team. It's very much a team sport. So anyways, we're trying to fundraise so we can send them over to Belgium at Easter to play other French and German teams, because they don't have many girls, so they're coming from all over. So it'll just be a really cool experience. Yeah. So one of the fundraisers was me doing a cookery demo. And with another girl, Laura, who works for a drinks company, and they gave the wine. So we did a wine and food night. And
everybody was up for the crack, and it was a good night.
It was great crack.
Back at that, you decided to come out and have a few drinks with us the following night. And we had a good old time. We always say it, we don't do it enough. We just don't do it enough.
It's always the nights you don't plan.
Apple browning. This is one that we've talked about loads of times before, but this is a great little tip for people, because people are saying, if I put an apple into Johnny's lunchbox, the apple is brown, he won't eat the bloody apple. Sorry.
Yeah, and he won't eat it with the skin on, and he won't eat it whole. And
so what am I doing?
This, I know anyone who's listened to this before will have heard this, but again, new listeners, every time I put it up, everyone goes mad for it on the Instagram page. So you peel your apple, you chop it into slices, and you put it into a cereal bowl or any bowl with a pinch of salt in the water. So fill the bowl, put the apple in, pinch of salt, and just leave it there for a minute or two. Yeah. And then rinse the apple. I know there was a lot of concern on one of the times I posted it. What happens if the salt is absorbed into the apple? Could that potentially be dangerous? Why don't you use lemon juice instead? It's much healthier. You relax, lads. It's only a bit of salt. Come on.
The salt police.
Get back to the PC brigade. So yeah, then you rinse the apple and dry it really well. Okay. And it will keep all day long. In a lunchbox, in the fridge. So it's really handy when you do it the night before, make up the lunches the night before, and send Johnny off with his apple unbrowned.
And if you don't believe us, try it.
Try it. It absolutely works.
Game changer. Yeah, particularly if they won't eat with the peel on, and you're worried about it going black and they're just throwing away loads of apples. What else have we got for you? Because you did it in usual Sarah Butler style, where you ring like, "Hey, you ready? 5 minutes. We record today. I'll do it in 2 seconds.
I'm very busy.
I'm outside now. Can we do it now?"
Can I tell you something very funny?
You can.
I thought this was very funny. So Thomas has gone swimming, and Grace has gone to Galway on a bus to a rugby game. So I was coming in the road with Tom, and he's gone to a party. So this is the new thing that goes swimming. I was like, please be careful now. He can swim, but like, as a mother, you're always worrying. I was like, be careful.
I do remember one of the first times I was with Tom in a swimming pool. Do you ever remember? He was just
launched himself
no
off
fear.
The highest point. But he got a fright about 6 months ago. He got an off fright, and he wouldn't go into the water, so I had to bring him in, and we took ages. But he's great again. But when you have a load of boys together, so I was like, Tom, won't you be careful now? To ma'am, I'll be fine. I can swim. Yeah. So I give me a bit of lip, and Rosie is Tom's cat. So I just thought it was really funny, and it actually worked. If anyone is having trouble with their kids to get through, I said, well, now, Tom, if Rosie was heading off swimming with all her friends, wouldn't you be a little bit worried? And he burst out laughing, and he was like, yeah, I'd be really worried about her. She could drown. I said, there you go.
He's going to be extra careful.
I said, do you understand now where Mum is coming from? And he was like, yeah. I said, she'd be heading off with her bag on her back with all her pals swimming.
Sometimes.
So I thought that was very funny. Maybe nobody else will, but
sometimes they have a habit of over-parenting. I'm blocking her so she can't see me because even in our house now, the DPD van came up to deliver a parcel to the house the last day, and Joe thought this fella's coming to take me in the van.
Watch for vans. Don't go to the toilet on your own. Always be with somebody. Send your location every 5 minutes. What are they called? Helicopter birds.
Oh, I'm
also rearing them on fear. There's a lot of I will if you.
You always have done that.
I've always
the fear
done
thing, and it has worked.
Yeah.
But the other thing about children these days is that we've gone through 3 years of shit.
Yeah.
And what has happened is they've missed out on a lot of important markers in their life. So they're playing catch up at the minute.
Yeah.
And what happens is, so they're gone into secondary school, but yet in our heads they're still in fourth class.
That's it.
And what we need to stop helicoptering. Yeah. They need to step out, but they need to be conscious of the crazy world that we live in.
Crazy world.
Right, so for our quick fire, what I'm going to get you to do is, because you did the whole thing like, I'm here now outside and let's do it, I have 2 seconds now, I have 4 minutes today, so let's do this. Just pick a page between 1 and 50.
35.
35?
35,
oh,
my age.
Pain in the hole.
When I turned 35 in March.
She doesn't.
So old.
She doesn't.
Feels so old. I can't believe I'm going to be 35.
The fact that you're turning 35 plus 5 in 2 months' time, that has a huge effect, not just on you, but on your whole family.
Why?
Because they're feeling...
Yeah, but that's their
They're saying if the baby is turned 40... Sorry, 35...
Yeah.
If you... Oh... this couldn't be a
Are
quick fire question.
Are you going back on old quick fire?
Yeah, because that's what I want to page 35. Okay. And the first one here is that if you had a body in the boot of your car, who would you call?
Probably you. Yeah. Well, I don't know now. You might be a bit of a...
No,
I think I'd call like Jane or one of my sisters. I don't think I'd call you.
I'd be steady as a rock.
You'd be rocking in the corner.
I was only telling the story over Christmas in the pub. About how one time something happened to me and there was only one person I could call, and that was you.
Oh yeah, God, I remember.
I was like, I learned that day that she's as stealth as the day. That fella she's married to, he knows nothing.
He knows nothing.
And then I realised that I know nothing either.
Oh, stop. I was going to tell you something there, but I won't say it.
No, say nothing. After. Okay. 35 was shit. Go for another one.
I don't. 42.
Are you gone up the way? 42... Right. Full phone battery or full diesel tank?
Oh, guess.
Well, neither. You were quite happy. Do you not get the phone anxiety when it's down at 10% and you're going, does that not bother you at all?
No, it doesn't bother me. But like if I had my phone on, I could ring someone and say, my car is after break and I have no diesel. Will you come and get me?
That's true.
Whereas if I was in the car... Sure, you'd have to go out and start thumbing.
Both of
those. I saw
those.
somebody thumbing this week.
I know,
several times there on the way home. I was like, Jesus,
different
I've
world.
Seen that?
Yeah, we don't pick them up. We don't pick. I would get I'd like to think that I don't, but I do get anxiety of low phone battery.
Do you?
Like I'm at 53% going, I must plug the phone in.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And with the car, then I got a bit braver with the car because it bings at me and says you need to change it, and I go, I'll drive that for another while yet.
That night that I had that event on, that I was doing the fundraiser, I left my house, and it was at 0.
Right.
I guess who was coming behind me?
Oh yeah.
My husband.
Yeah.
Who kills me for like, why is there no diesel ever in this car? And it's just that I'm like, oh, that's going to take 10 minutes and I don't have 10 minutes. He'll do it. So I was coming in there going, oh my God, please don't conk.
Take back anything that you've said or hear any conversation about you.
Oh, I think take back anything that you said. What people say behind your back, I think, is none of your business.
Yeah, you don't want to hear about that.
No, you don't.
Because
I mean, even people hate God and Mother Teresa, so like you're never going to please everybody.
I always say, if you're sitting around on a Sunday and everybody's chatting and they're chatting about somebody, did you hear about me? Or no, don't hear about this. And you're thinking, somebody's probably doing that about us somewhere else.
Someone probably definitely
and
is.
I don't want to hear it because...
Yeah, I think that's a really good way to look at it. And I don't know where I came across that, but what people say about you behind your back is none of your business.
One of the things I learned about when I started in radio radio first was I was told, look, 50% of the people are going to tolerate you, and then 50% of the people are going to absolutely hate you.
Yeah.
So I'm well aware in the morning when I come on with that morning that there's 50% or probably 70% going, I absolutely hate him.
Yeah.
And that's
like,
okay.
You do it yourself. Like there's people that I'm like, oh God, I don't even know you.
Yeah.
And I really don't like you.
We've a few of those.
Few mutual ones. So
We don't know why we hate them.
Look, it's human nature. Jesus, we're not perfect. It's okay to be a hater.
Another. Go for another one.
15.
Oh, back to the beginning, early days. Oh, I like
Early days. These will be good ones now.
Comfy bed or comfy couch?
Comfy
bed.
bed, hot blanket.
Completely invisible for a day, or be able to fly for a day.
Fly. I would love. It's so funny. Like the one who'd have a
afraid of
nervous
flying.
breakdown on top of a friggin' ladder. But I dream about flying, and I dream about running, and you're running so fast that you eventually just take off and you can fly. And I'm not afraid of my dreams when I'm flying. Like if I was there and you said, "Okay, I'm God, you can fly, Sarah, if you stand and jump off the top of the building."
Well, you know, I reckon with those
Nope.
feet and those hands.
Shut up.
Tell a secret or keep a secret.
Keep a secret.
Go for another one.
25.
This is our final one now because we're at our time. Give up cursing forever or give up ice cream for 10 years.
Whatever the next one is to that, it's the like opposite because I couldn't not curse.
My son told me the last day that he was reading in class and there was a bad word in the thing that he had to read. So he said, I had to read it out. And I said, what was the word? And he said, I don't want to say it. And I said, but you can say it in front of me. It was shit. Yeah. And I said, oh God. And you never heard bad language. And he said, no, you're always using bad language.
That's really funny because my kids are the same. They like Grace spells out bad words.
A bad word, yeah.
And I'm like a sailor. Like. I mean, I can't even show my bloopers because, these bloopers that people put on their... I can't because, like, people will be going, oh no, that must be like, she must be a twin. 'Cause that's not the same person. I'm like... going mental.
Yeah.
But like obviously you can't be cursing.
I always say to you before when you're on radio, if I get too relaxed, anything could come out.
That was the scariest thing about going on live TV. I was like, what if I curse?
Yeah, and it could then it would start coming out of you like verbal diarrhea. You just keep going. You'd be like, Jesus,
so
I can't stop.
definitely. Whatever the opposite to that one was.
Rather have an assistant to reply to all your emails or do all your own grocery shopping. When you do all your own grocery shopping, and you reply to everybody.
Have my assistant do the emails. So I'm allergic to them. That side of it. Hate it. Dermot does it for me mostly. So now, there you go.
That is our lot for our podcast this week.
Very
this
random.
Who knows?
Quick podcast, but I hope you've learned something.
Yeah. If you've learned one thing, it is that if you plan, it will cost you less and your life will become just a little tiny bit easier. What are you drawing? You're drawing something, are you?
Yeah, shocking.
If you want to send us an email, it's sarahbutler@home@gmail.com.
Well done.
Very good. And you can also find Sarah on Instagram, as you know. And you can buy the book, which is available in my local butchers. And it's also available in bookshops and online.
Well, online, it's in local bookshops. But I'm hoping that if something comes to... What's the word? Fruit?
Fruit?
So what comes to fruit?
No.
That's a saying. If something comes to
it
begins with them.
It's fruition.
No, I think it's fruit.
It's not fruit. It's fruition.
Comes to F-R-U. Oh, shite, you're right. Okay, I'll stop trying to be intelligent, Sarah.
And
I'm hoping that if something happens, that might hopefully happen. The other one would have sounded so much better. That it will be available more nationwide. We'll have to wait and see. The website, sarahbutlerhome.com.
I was waiting to do the school run one day and I hopped into a mother's car who was waiting also on the school run, and she was sitting at the front of the car and she had both of your books open.
Really?
Yeah, both of them. And I said, what? And she said, just trying to find something that they'll eat.
Cool.
So I was like, big success.
Great. Yeah, it's mad. It's like, that's mental.
Yeah. We'll see you soon.
Yeah, we'll see hopefully in the next month. We'll try and keep it monthly.
Of course. Okay.
Bye.
Thanks for listening. Bye.
Thank you.